Hi, my name's Pip and I work at Sydney Advanced Physiotherapy in Lindfield. Now, today in this video, what I'm going to teach you is a little bit about how your posture can affect your neck and can contribute to headaches and migraines. So, it's not uncommon that someone will sit in a chair with a hunched back with their chin poking forward like this. Now, when you do that, you make your neck muscles work so much harder. Now, the little muscles in your neck are quite small, and the muscles around the base of your skull are also quite small, and they have to work to hold your head up so that you can keep your eyes horizontal to the floor and keep looking ahead all the time. Now, your head weighs about 4.5 kilos, which is around the 10 to 12 pound mark. So the more forward your head goes, the more your head starts to weigh, okay? So if you imagine holding a 4 kilo bowling ball, it doesn't feel as heavy if you hold it close to your chest as it does if you hold it far away from your chest. And while it's still 4 kilos, relatively it's an awful lot more work for your body. So your head goes from weighing 4 kilos if you're standing up nice and tall or sitting up nice and straight with your head stacked up in the right position, to if you're checking your mobile phone over and over again and looking down like this, your head can weigh about 60 pounds relatively. Okay, so the more you come forward, the more your little neck muscles have to work. And when that happens, you get so tight and irritated through here, the joints all get overloaded and inflamed, and before you know what's going on, you've got neck pain or you can have a headache. Now, often people don't understand how neck pain can create headaches, or how dysfunction or poor mobility in your neck, so stiffness, sore joints, things like that, how that can create a headache. Now, the messages from the upper parts of your neck, so from the disc, travel up a specific pathway through your spinal cord up towards your brain. Now, these facial nerves up around here also travel via the same pathway through your spinal cord up towards your brain. So what can happen is that your brain gets a little bit confused and it doesn't necessarily know where the message was coming from. So the pain message might have been coming from your neck, but your brain might get a little bit confused and think it was coming from your face, and so you feel face pain. So that's a headache. You can obviously get a headache that comes with neck pain or without neck pain, but that's how you can get face pain from a neck issue. So when you look at your posture, if you're sitting like this, now what's important to note here is the joint angle. So this would be where the rest of my head would be. So what happens when you sit with your chin forward is your skull slides forward on the vertebrae. So it slides forward and it takes the C1 with it. So it slides forward like that. Now, the difficulty with that is whether you can see down is another issue. You've got a pathway here for your spinal cord. Now, if the head slides forward and takes the C1 with it, if you don't have nice solid ligaments that are doing the right thing for you, you can get spinal cord compromise from not having good control of the vertebrae, and that canal for your spinal cord can get obstructed a little bit. So after a whiplash or any other traumatic incidents where your head's been thrown around, it's really very important that the physiotherapist checks these upper neck ligaments to make sure they're intact. If they're not intact, you can have some pretty serious tingles in your hand, and you can also get some significant pain. But back to posture. So if you're sitting with your head forward, the C1 slides with the skull. Now, the joint here is quite horizontal, so it can easily just slide back and forward. So then what happens is the C2 wants to go with it, but as you can see, the joint between C2 and C3, so the second and the third vertebrae in your neck, is a bit more angled, and so it has to go up and forward. And when it does that, and that's when you really poke your chin forward, what you'll have happen is that you'll irritate the disc that's in between C2 and C3. And that's when those messages will get sent up the spinal cord towards your brain, and that's when they can get confused for face pain. So it's really important that you learn to hold your body in the right position and that you don't have to work hard to do it. The harder you have to work to maintain your posture, it's just you're not going to be able to hold it. So what you want to find is you want to set yourself up in your car so you've got nice posture in your car. You want to set yourself up at work so that you're not always looking off to the side at a computer screen off to the side, or the computer screen's not so far away that you end up hunching forward to get closer to it by the end of the day. You need to make sure that when you try and correct your posture, so when you try and lift yourself upright, that you don't feel like you're holding yourself up all the time. So you can use a little towel or a lumbar support to help support your back so you don't have to work so hard. But the other important thing is to really try and lengthen through your body, so grow taller through the rib cage, rather than puffing your chest out and lifting your lower ribs up to try and make you feel like you're straight. Because often what people will do is they'll actually flare their ribs and lift their chest and puffed it up. And what they've actually done is hinged through their lower back, and they'll start getting achy in the back before long, but they tend to leave their head forward. So you got to grow tall through the rib cage, gently tuck your chin in, but you want a nice long back of the neck, and you want to be able to comfortably maintain that while you're sitting or while you're standing. And often people do need to look at the types of chairs that they're sitting in, or look at whether they need a foot support under the chair. So a really great thing you can do if you're coming in to see one of our physios for neck pain or for headaches is to get one of your colleagues to take some photos of you sitting at your work desk. Ideally, they sneak up behind you and take a photo of you when you're not aware of it, so we really see what your posture's like. But otherwise, it just gives us a bit of an idea about where your computer is, where your chair is, where your table is. So these are all really important things if you're wanting to rid yourself of neck pain and headaches. Physios can really help with neck pain and with headaches and migraines. So if you're struggling, please give us a call, 9416-4410, or you can drop a comment below if you have any questions. We'd love to help you out.